Okay.
Awesome,
Nice.
guys. So it's recording. So I just want to let you guys know that today's session is going to be interactive. So feel free to just communicate. And by the way, guys, this is one of the unique things that we're doing for Sigma School students, where every single week, okay, we try our best to do it every week, but from now on, every week, we're going to have industry experts. So people who, when I say expert, right, this person doesn't need to have a PhD. The moment I call someone expert, it means they have a certain level of mastery in whatever they do. Meaning to say they can demand a high salary, or they can get hired basically for whatever they do, be it project managers, software developers, data scientists, CTOs, entrepreneurs, digital marketeers. I want you guys to be able to get exposure from people out there who has done it. And I usually give priority to people who are self-taught, like Qiang, and Qiang will introduce himself. He has a very, very interesting story, interesting background that I like a lot. So Qiang is working very closely with us now as the lead for coding basics and coding fundamentals. So he is working a lot of really cool stuff, great projects for you guys to work on. So so this is our very first session. So Qiang will be doing the honors in terms of like introducing himself and all that today. I'm like you guys. I'm just gonna be here together with you guys listening to him. Cool.
Nice.
So Qiang, it's 1 more minute.
Yeah. All right, you got more people.
Hey guys, can we on your video for a while? Let me take a picture first.
Yeah, photo session,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah, photo session. Always need one. Steven, Yogan. Hey Yogan, if you're using a phone, also on for a while. Jack, Sekia. Okay, awesome. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more guys, one more. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, Qiang, feel free to start.
All right, hey, welcome everyone. So I mean, it's first of all, really thank everyone here to take your time to join this session over here. All right, so I would like to welcome everyone to this session. Before we actually move forward, right, let me just do maybe a short introduction on myself first. All right, because I think a lot of you here, don't know who am I, right? I think this is probably your first time, seeing this guy over here as well, right? So my name is Qiang. I'm actually working with Hacker Collective before that for like software development stuff, and then I'm currently working on a lot of the curriculum stuff that you all are actually going through in Sigma School, and probably I'll go into more details later. All right, but before that, I actually wanted to do some interaction with you guys, because it's not just for you guys to understand me. I also want to understand some of you here, so that I can kind of understand where are you guys at, so I can also maybe give a clearer context of like how we should go about learning tech in general and stuff like that. All right, so probably I'll just pick some of you here and just do some interaction and just chat. All right, so probably since Jiawei, you're on your camera, I think it would be best if we'll start with you first. Yeah, so do you mind maybe just share a little bit about yourself, and also maybe mind sharing if you have started learning with us, and how does it feel like, and what is a pain when, or even before that, what things that actually makes you wanted to learn the tech, something like that. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, Qiang. Okay, so just briefly introduction. I'm Jawei here. All right, so currently I'm working as actually I just quit as a Foodpanda business development executive. I'm actually still in the midst of either looking for full-time job right now, or either doing a full-time study for these courses right now. So basically, I'm joined back in last batch of TSG in the last batch, which is February, end of the February. Okay, so I started with a PassForce curriculum first. So from PassForce, I did almost up to the UI UX part. All right, haven't jumped into JavaScript yet. So basically, what I go through is self-taught. This section is quite so far okay. No,
Nice.
yeah, I don't have any huge obstacle in front of me yet. Okay, so I did discuss with Henry a lot, since he one of my batchmates, Steven as well, right? But I did discuss a lot with Henry as well when we submitting our homework. All right, so yeah, go through that. So basically, what makes me think of joining this kind of courses is that I'm actually graduate as a cell and molecular biology. You can know this as biotech. All right. So what my first job land is a food panda food sales business development executive. So you can see I tried and pivot myself in different industry and different field. So I do see the future of IT and tech career. So I'm trying to explore myself in this field. All right. So yeah. So this land me here.
Nice, awesome. Hey, thanks for sharing, Jiawei. I
Yeah, no
mean,
worries.
yeah, and I'm very happy to hear that you guys are actually, communicating together and learning together, right?
Yeah.
It's so great to learn together, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. So guys, yeah, welcome everyone that just joined. We actually just started only, and just do a little self-introduction here. All right. So before we actually move forward, guys, I would like to ask a few questions over here so that I can, like roughly understand who are you guys over here, right? So just a show of hand, who over here is just getting into college, or you just graduated from college. Yeah, I just want to know who is like studying in college, maybe it doesn't matter it's computer science or other non-related, tech course. Yeah, I saw Yogan. Anyone else in college, or maybe just graduated from college, or even just graduated from high school? Anyone else? It seems like only Yogan over here. Like, I think Yogan is the youngest here. All right. So how about others? I believe. Oh, hey, Yogan.
Yeah, I'm still studying.
You're still
Yeah.
in studying in college, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
University.
Oh, university, nice.
Mm.
So are you studying the IT related
Uh,
courses?
Computer science.
Computer science, nice. So how so far, how do you think about the computer science course?
It's it's really tough for me actually. Actually, I'm interested in coding, so that's why I joined in this course. But I found the subject in this course is really tough. So I just asked my friend. So, I mean, is there any shortcuts, any kind of to learn to master this? I mean, to get a job in this IT field. So the friend's name Sebastian Blolok. He recommend this Sigma school to me. So that's how I.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Yogan.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So next question I would like to ask also is actually anyone here is actually working already as a developer? Just a show of hand. Yeah. Anyone here? I guess most probably everyone here is like doing something else, in business, in marketing, right? And I mean that's great, right? Is I can really see like how great tech industry is, because it brings a lot of different people into this industry, so you can share a lot of things together, and tech can really just do anything, right? I believe most of you guys agree with me as well. All right. So one last thing that I would like to also bring up and also ask you guys is actually just one very simple question, and I would like you guys to interact with me in the chat. You can give me your honest response in the chat. All right. So just a very simple question: is learning how to code hard? Yeah, it's just very simple question, right? Is learning how to code hard? And if you don't mind, also let me know why. Why is it hard? Or if you think it's easy, why is it easy? Right? Just drop your response in the chat. I'll just take a take a quick look. I'll give you guys like maybe around like 30 seconds to type it out. All right, I'll repeat my question again. So is learning how to code hard, right? Is learning how to code hard? If it is, or if it is not, why? Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I will not judge you based on your response, right? Okay. Derek say very hard. Yeah. It's hard. Feels alien to me. Feels like something, something super different, right? It's like another language. How about others? Wasn't trained to think computationally. Half difficult, quite hard. Yeah, so I can see that most of the responses very hard, right? Or quite hard, especially C++. Yeah, exactly, right? So I think it's good that everyone, at least what you are able to do is actually to actually acknowledge that learning how to code is hard. But why is it so hard, right? Actually, that's the main thing I want to talk about in today's talk, right? Why is learning how to code hard? And I'm going to share some of my personal experience on how I learned and how, you know, I come from a non-tech background, but I'm able to transition into this industry. I think that's a, you know, that can bring you guys, bring you all very, you know, a lot of the values. All right. So, but before we actually move, you know, deep into why learning how to code is hard, I'm gonna do, you know, a self-introduction again for anyone of you here that is, you know, just joined in. So my name is Qiang. I'm actually currently 20 years old. I just graduated like from high school 2 years ago, and I never got into college, right? And the reason is because, and yeah, a fun fact as well, I actually dropped out twice actually. First college I actually went into is OUM. Not sure whether you guys know about OUM, Open University. It's sort of like a part-time course, right? Because at the time I was facing a lot of financial difficulties. So I was thinking I want to work and study at the same time, right? So I applied for a part-time course, and it was about IT. I thought I would be interested in IT, but who knows, when I got into the course, it's a lot about things like hardware, you know, all this kind of stuff that I didn't expect I would learn, right? I thought it was like coding, building websites, all this kind of fancy stuff, right? But it's not. It's all like very old stuff, you know, very difficult, you know, like something that is very low level that I cannot understand. Low level as in like it's very boiled down to, you know, things like hardware, RAM, all this kind of stuff, right? So I'm not really interested in it. So, you know, I just dropped out from that university. Then after a few months later, I got a lot of pressure from my, you know, from my family, you know, asking me to go into a college, get a degree, right? So what I do is I have to apply to, you know, just any degree that I could find. So I applied to Indy. I was applying to this course. It's also a part-time course for working adults. It's actually business administration, right? Business administration. So, but you know, as you guys might know, right, business, for me, I'm not really interested in that. So I also dropped out, like maybe after after a few months, I dropped out from the course. So yeah, basically the main thing I want to talk about is that you know, why getting into college for me, in my opinion, is not really something I want to do. First of all, it's about, you know, financially, right? Because you have to spend a lot of money upfront just to learn things that you are not sure whether after you graduate you will actually use it, or will it actually return you, you know, return your investment back, you know, something like that, right? So it's a lot of uncertainty that and somehow you know, degree took like 4 years or like 5 years to finish, right? And you have to spend so many time and effort in that 4 or 5 years. You could actually do something else within that time just to cover a lot of things that, you know, in college, whatever you cover, I believe a lot of you here can actually relate to me, right? Whatever you learn in degree, actually, you could learn in maybe just a few months. I believe a lot of you here agree with me, right? And yeah, that's about it. About, you know, on my educational background, I just finished SPM 2 years ago. My result okay, all right. Then after that, I dropped out, you know, from 2 colleges because I'm not interested, and I think that is, you know, not a must, right, to go into college if you want to, especially in tech industry, because you could do a lot of stuff other than going to college. Okay, so yeah, so Henry mentioned I never go to college as well. Yeah, exactly, right. I believe a lot of people nowadays they are able to see a lot of options already. I think people nowadays, they are more open-minded, and they know that there are better ways to go around it. All right, and okay, so probably let me share a little bit about my work experience as well. So after I graduated, right, how do I got all the money to go into courses, right? So basically, I teach tuition. I was a tuition teacher. Before that, I was a personal tutor. I teach maths. I love maths, and I teach maths for my living. All right. And then after that, I was thinking, you know, why not apply to a tuition center and just give it a try, right? So I'm able to get into a tuition center and started to teach full-time, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., right? It was very tiring. I can tell you guys, right? Teaching is not something easy, right? You have to deal with the students, deal with the parents, deal with a lot of factors, all right? And then after that, just to share you guys a little bit about what is happening in my 2 years of experience in working in the tuition center. So while I was in, you know, working as a teacher, I actually constantly learning how to code as well. All right. So how I got into coding also is, just if anyone of you here is wondering, I got into coding right after I graduated from SPM. I saw this online course, free online course in YouTube. I actually bring a lot of my friends to, join the free online course just to learn something for fun, right? Because at that time, after you graduated, you have nothing to do, right? So just learn for fun. And then, but the fact is that a lot of people are not really that interested in coding at that time. And I think probably it's also the environment we have over here. I believe a lot of you guys can relate as well, right? It's hard to find people to learn coding. I'm not sure why is that. Probably it's just the environment, all right? And then after that, after the free online course that I attended, I saw they have like a full program that you have to pay and you can learn more stuff. So I got into that. Previously, I was saving a lot of my monies when I was working as a teacher. So I used all of that money to just put into that paid program and just to learn something. So at the time, I was learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I can tell you guys, I took almost 1 year just to learn HTML. All right, and this is ridiculous for a lot of you. I took really 1 year because I stopped a lot of times. I got demotivated. I'm not sure how does all these things work? Why is there div inside another div again? Maybe some of you here can relate, right? So a lot of things is not going around in my, in my mind. I don't understand what is happening. No one is guiding me. I don't have friends that is doing, learning how to code as well. So I don't have anyone to go to at that time, right? So, and a lot of times I was staying up late just to finish up projects, but I could not understand what I'm building. That's the thing. I believe a lot of people here also, you can feel me, right? You don't know what you're doing sometimes. And that is something called tutorial help. You keep on doing something, but you still don't know what you are doing, right? You just feel good because you are able to finish a project. But in reality, after you finish a project, when you look back into the project, or if there are other people that are asking you, so what have you done? You couldn't really answer, right? Because you are following someone else, probably tutorial video or someone else guides, but you don't really understand what you are actually doing because you're not putting yourself into that environment where you have to think, just think and not following other, code or something like that. Yeah, I believe a lot of people can relate. Henry also, right? Yeah. So yeah, that was when I realized, I have to find a way to actually, learn how to code, right? Because my environment, I have a lot of friends learning how to code, but they quit because so stressed, and things like that. And eventually, to be honest with you guys, I quit also when I was like 18 years old, like around, September, something like that. I actually quit for a few months because I got so stressed. I don't know what the hell am I doing, right? And I spent a lot of my money, a lot of my savings into it, but I got nothing back. So I feel kind of down at that time. So I got into work at that time. I got into teaching, into a tuition center and start teaching, just full-time teaching. And at the time, I thought that I'll be teaching for my entire life already. At the time, I was thinking, I would be like a full-time teacher already. But I still didn't give up. I still constantly learning how to code, just explore for fun. And that's the best thing. I believe a lot of you here, you can relate that as well. When you are not really working in tech, but you have the free time to learn tech, that's actually like the best thing you could have, right? Because to be honest with you guys, while I'm working as a developer right now, a lot of time I don't have the time to explore fun things myself, right? I have to deal with work, a lot of the issues, a lot of the bugs. But when you have the free time and you're just coding for fun, that's really great. If any one of you here feel that, you can let me know in the chat as well, right? So at the time, I didn't stop, right? I just feel like I want to still continue to do it, still continue to learn, like YouTube, free courses, or anything that I could just learn, right? So, and then after that, I had a little progress, and eventually, here's the good news, right? Eventually, I actually started to build my own softwares at that time. And my inspiration is because that tuition center that I mentioned just now, right? I saw how their administrative, work, just, sending messages. So I believe if any one of you here have an idea of how tuition center work, basically how they work is that they do marketing and stuff. They got a lot of students, and what normally the admins will do is contact the students, right? Send something like an invitation link to a class or something like that. So I saw their admins do this kind of thing, right? And how are they doing it is basically they get 3 admins and they pay like 2,000 each for a month, and just by sending message. And probably a month, every one of them just send maybe like 50 messages, 100 messages, all right? But I was thinking, could we have something that could just replicate all these actions, right? Replicate all these tasks and just do it automatically. And I can save the time and save the cost. So I was thinking a lot of the idea at that time. So I came up with this very simple solution with Python, right? At the time, I was learning Python as well, with Python, Selenium, all this. So I come up with a very simple software, and I start to, show to my employer at the time and tell them that I have this solution that you guys could use. I will show you guys a demo. If you guys are interested, probably, we can have a deal or something like that, right? So at the time, I'm actually able to sell this software, and they paid me like every month, like a few hundreds, right? Which is not a lot, right? But it's fun to know that you actually put your skills into earning some income. That is actually quite fun, right? But eventually, here's the bad news. Eventually, I feel that I am putting a lot of my time and effort in that software because they keep on asking for changes, fixes, new features. How many of you can agree with me? Like, no matter it's in tech or what, as long as you're dealing with clients, when they're asking for features, ask you to fix bugs, they just spam you, right? And you feel so, how do I say that? Yeah, I believe a lot of you here, I see Java is so smiling already, right? Yeah, everyone agree with me, right? So yeah, and at that time, I feel that way as well, right? So at that point, I was trying to bring this up to them. I was trying to say that, why not I just finish this up and I just put this everything for you guys. I sell this thing to you guys. Or you could use, or if you want to, you could invest more budget into it, and I can build a very complete software for you guys. But at that time, they were saying that they want to cut the cost and everything because they feel that I spend lesser time to do a lot of the works. Because at that time, they need like 3 admins every month just to send like a few hundred messages. But my software, I could like send probably 500 messages in a few minutes, right? So they were thinking that I only use a few minutes to send messages, so why should I deserve to get a lot of get a higher pay, right? So at the time I was thinking, it's kind of toxic, right? The environment is kind of toxic, so I don't feel like doing it anymore. That's why I cut it off already. And yeah, so Henry mentioned edit video version 24, right? So yeah, I believe video editing, right? You need to edit like version 34 already. Yeah, so exactly, right? I believe a lot of you guys here can relate to me. So at that time, I feel I tell myself that I should really just cut it off. So at that time, that incident actually caused me to think about how the entire education and how the entire tech industry works, right? Because I was thinking, why would people value time over your skills, right? Or over your values, right? Why would people think that, oh, you use 5 minutes to complete a task, so I should pay you lesser? Why would people think that way? I was thinking a lot of that at that time. So I was really, questioning myself about, learnings and stuff like that, right? So that is what got me to, start to go really deep into tech and start to learn a lot of those stuff, because I was so interested in that and how, all the software, building software, selling software, all these kind of things work, right? And that's actually how I slowly found out about Hacker Collective, right? THC. And at the time I saw the ad, I just clicked to it. And then Derek sent me an invitation link, for a chat, and just had a very good chat with Derek. And then I started to join the program, right? And I started to learn. And at that time I have, I have some fundamentals already. And I was actively leading the batch, right? I was, having night calls with them, chatting with them, teaching how to do, some HTML, very CSS stuff, right? Doing homeworks together. And then after a month of learning together with, the batch mates, so basically Derek reached out to me for an internship. And I actually, at that time, I was not thinking of going into tech industry yet. My mindset was, I want to learn. I just want to learn for fun, right? But I never thought that I would have that opportunity to actually, try that out, right? Try, switching into another career. And how could that happen is basically, I think the most important thing that you guys can take away from here is that when you really want to have something, right? For example, if you want to have a job, you don't really, don't put too much stress on you want to get that job, right? Just, focus on how do you actually do that, right? Because at the time, I was not really thinking about getting a job, but I was thinking, all I was thinking about is I just want to take the free time to learn coding, right? To build something for my own, right? Build my own software or anything like that. And that's how I slowly got to increase, improve my skills and start to got a lot of opportunities coming in. And that's what I really want to motivate you guys and tell you guys as well, right? Don't focus on the thing that you actually want. Focus on the thing that can help you to pursue that thing, right? Yeah, that's one thing that you all can actually, take note about it, right? And yeah, so after that, basically, I got into internship, and then it was very, first few days was nightmare for me because I screw up a lot of things, right? Especially, how many of you here actually know how to use GitHub, Git and GitHub? Anyone of you here learn about Git and GitHub? And I believe if you have learned Git and GitHub before, you have faced a lot of issues as well, right? At that time, I still remember the first day of intern, I got this project from scratch. I have to build it, the UI and everything from scratch. And I just forgot to commit the change. I forgot to save the change, and I forgot to push my code to the, to the folder and stuff, and everything was gone, right? So I have to redo again. So at the first few days, I was so stressed because how the environment, like it is so fast. The pace is so fast. It's nothing, it's nothing same as, like teaching, right? Teaching, you have a lot of time. You have a lot of preparation before that. You can prepare for like hours before you get into class, right? But tech is different, right? The problem comes in, you have to, on the spot, you have to solve it already, right? I believe probably some of you here, like maybe from business or marketing, you can feel that as well, right? A lot of things are, you have to be flexible about it, right? That's like the crucial part about, tech industry as well, right? And of course, some other industries. So at the time, I was so stressed, and I reached out to a lot of my seniors in the team. Anyone of you know Kais? Just a show of hands, anyone of you know Kais? Kais is actually another curriculum lead. He's actually leading the backend part. I'm leading the front end part. So yeah, so Wayne know, Jiawei know, Henry know, very nice. All right, so I reached out to Kais. Y'all can ask Kais later, right? Very funny. I asked Kais, I was so stressed, I feel like quitting. Then he just laughed at me, right? Haha, Yiqiang, this is normal, right? It's just your first few days. Just give it a try again, right? So he really inspired me a lot. Then after that, I just keep on going, right? And slowly I got improved, right? So that's how I, slowly got to level up my game, all right? And after like around 2 months of internship, I think I did a pretty good job. I actually created 2 projects from scratch myself. One was Hantago. Not sure anyone of you heard about it. Hantago, it was a logistic company. Basically, it's just a company that, send parcels, right? In a brief introduction, right? And another project was called SiteGen. SiteGen is a website. Basically, you just tell the website what do you want to have, what are you doing, what are you providing as a business, and all we do is we generate a website for you. We generate a landing page for you automatically. You don't need to drag and drop stuff like Wix or like WordPress. You don't need to do that. You don't need to drag and drop. You don't need to set your colors, and we do all that for you. All you need to do is provide information for us. What is your business? What are you providing? So that was what I'm working on at that time with a lot of my very cool teammates, right? And yeah, so after my internship was 3 months. After 2 months of internship, Derek reached out to me for a full-time position as a software developer, junior software developer, around like, I think it was like last year, November, around that. And at the time I was hesitated, right? I'm not sure whether I should go into it, but at the time I told myself, why not just get into it, right? Just get into it. And then I just, signed the contract, and, I just got myself a developer role, all right? So that's how I got started with all this developer job and things like that. And I also started to do a lot of coaching at night as well, for people like you, all right? And yeah, basically that's it. That's like my whole story from me starting learning how to code to how I got the job, all right? And I believe, and hopefully also my story and all the small incidents in between can give all of you some thoughts after that to think about how how actually all these things work out, right? Especially how like when you face difficulties in your learnings and like you couldn't find a job or something like that, just think about it. Sometimes a lot of the things, right, you don't really have to put a lot of stress on it, right? Sometimes actually finding a job, it's not really that hard, right? It's hard because you are putting too much time and effort to find that job, which instead what you should do is put all the time and effort to learn the skills you need to get the job, and after that all the opportunities will come, right? This is something I could honestly tell you guys, all right? And before I actually move forward, I think a lot of talking from me. So I would like to hear some thoughts from you guys. Any questions or anything that you would like to ask? It can be about myself, or it can be anything from you guys as well. And if it's something I could answer, I will definitely answer it. All right. So I will give you guys like probably 1 to 2 minutes to ask some questions, and then if there's no questions, we could probably move on to some technical stuff like what you should learn, and the learning techniques, and all these kind of things later on. All right. But for now, I just want to see whether you guys have any questions on like general questions like what should we learn, all this, maybe not that technical. All right. Yeah. Any questions, guys, so far? Yeah, don't be shy, guys. It seems like everyone is very quiet. Yeah. If you guys don't mind, you guys can turn your camera also, actually. Yeah. Because I would like to interact with you guys a lot. Yeah. No questions, Oh, okay. Henry got a question. How to have less mental breakdowns? All right. So before I answer that question, any one of you actually had mental breakdowns because of learning coding, learning how to code? Yeah, because of learning how to code. All right. Yeah, Jürgen, Henry also, right? Anyone else actually? Or I think it would be best if everyone just share your opinions on your experience on learning how to code. Can you guys just write maybe like 10 words, a very simple sentence? What is the feeling? What is the experience after learning how to code for probably like 1 to 3 months, let's say? What is the experience? Yeah, let me just quickly go through the chats and understand your pain and struggles, and I will give you guys some honest opinions. Yeah. Okay, so I see Henry say, damn frustrated. Yeah, I believe a lot of you here is agree with Henry as well. Hey, Wayne, I saw you. Very nice. Hey. Others? Yeah. What do you guys think? What are your not enough practice? Then you forgot the whole thing. Yeah, exactly, Kong. That is, I think, what everyone experienced here, right? We learn. Oh, I understand. Tomorrow, come back, forgot everything, right? That is what is happening every day, right? Every day. It's not just once in a while. It's basically every day. Nice. How about others? Agree with Kong. Exactly. Yeah. I think it's great, right? I think basically mental breakdowns. Why will we have mental breakdowns? Obviously, first one, we just couldn't understand something, right? Sometimes we learn how to code, we just couldn't understand it. Not because we understand and forget, but we just couldn't understand. It's because learning material is not enough. You couldn't find anyone to ask questions if you face problems. Not good resources, right? Basically, these are some of the main problems that you can that is happening, and this is why you are feeling you couldn't understand that thing, right? And for me, I tried to learn JavaScript back then, and I couldn't understand at all, right? Because I don't have friends that is learning together, so I don't really have people to code together and solve problems together, discuss together. I don't have that environment. Second of all, I don't have mentors at that time, right? I don't have people like Kais, like Derek, they all could guide me and give me something that I could see in the future, right? How is the path? What is the path look like learning JavaScript? I don't have that at the time. And third, I don't have any learning materials at that time. I don't know how to Google, and I don't have the habit of Googling. And I can tell you guys, actually, just recently, when I was just chilling with my friends, right? That is, of course, not techie. They are just some business guys and things like that. And I saw every time when they face problem, right, they won't search for Google. They will ask around. They will say, hey, what is this? What is that? And for me, normally when I face like question, like for example, if someone asks about, for example, what are some of like examples? Like, okay, let's say what is what is HTML? What is the full name of HTML? What I normally do? Just Google what is the full name of HTML, and probably you can find answers already, right? But the solution is so straightforward, right? You can just Google and find the answer, but not a lot of people do that. So at the time, I don't have that habit. It's because I don't have that environment as well. I don't have that environment of, thinking out of the box or like solving problem environment, right? I keep on relying on others, right? Keep on relying on other people. You know, like actually back then, a lot of students also like keep on messaging me, right? And I think even some of you, hey Qiang, I got problem. Hey Qiang, I got problem. Yeah, I got that a lot, and because back in the day, I'm also like that, right? I came on text Kai, you know, text any of my senior. Hey Kai, so how to do this, how to do that. I never really tried to solve it myself. I just wanted to find a quick solution at the time. So I agree with you guys about, on the, you know, on the not enough practice, that part of thing, right? And my honest opinion on that, guys, and I would like everyone here to really take this into your heart, and you know, just if you want to take note, also can, right? It will be best. What I really think about learning, right? Learning in general, not just learning how to code, learning anything, right? What I feel that you should really, what you can do, right, is after you learn that thing, right? After you learn that thing, you can use any form of way to express what you learn, right? And the key here is express, right? Basically, you consume that thing, right? It's all about input output. You consume that thing already. You got the knowledge in your brain already. You need a way to express it out, because by expressing your inputs, by expressing what you learn, you got to validate it, right? You got a lot of validation, which means, for example, very quick example, right? For example, Wayne, let's say he talks to me, right? He tells me a sentence, 10 words. And if I were to share what he told me to other people, most of the time I will simplify the sentence, right? That is what really happened, right? When you're sharing across information, a lot of the times people just cut off information, and it got like probably very small chunk of information. And that's what really happening in your brain, right? Basically, you learn a lot, right? Let's say 2 hours, but at the end, you just understand 1 hour of thing. And at the end, you could just do 30 minutes of the thing, and you could remember maybe like 10 minutes of the thing, right? So you guys see what I'm talking about, right? So you need a way to express it, so you could constantly validate whether you are really understand, and also whether or not you are really remembering that thing, right? So for me, the most straightforward way to express my knowledge is to teach people, right? So whenever I learn something new, I would just teach anyone, right? Sometimes I would just text my batchmates at the time. Hey, for example, Bernard, not sure whether you guys know Bernard. Bernard, he was one of my batchmates. He was one of the tech members, also tech developer in THC team. You know, I came on messaging him as well, right? Hey, Bernard, do you have time at night, 10 p.m., right? Hey, Bernard, do you have time? I want to show you some cool stuff. Then we just got into a call, just code until like 12 a.m. Yes, we always do that, right? With like Bernard, Mohammed, Kais. Yeah, I talk to Kais a lot of time at night as well, midnight. So you guys could always see us online in Discord, actually. So yeah, basically, you need a way to express, right? It could be teaching. It could be just talking to yourself. It could be just repeating that task, right? Because by repeating that task, you are, you know, it's like you are training your muscle memory in a way, okay? So yeah, that's how I really feel about learning, okay? Doesn't have to be code, anything, right? Whatever you learn, you need a way to validate. You need a way to express it. So once you express it, you could get a lot of feedbacks, whether you understand which part you are missing out, which part you need to work on. You got all those feedbacks back, right? It doesn't have to come from other. It can come from yourself as well, right? Then you got all the information. You can start work on it, improve it, relearn again, relearn all the parts that you are forgetting, you know, that you are missing out. Then you got better and better. All right. And that's how it really is, right? And you have to believe that. Yeah, you have to believe that. And also another tips I could give you guys is you need to have your own kind of like a learning framework. For me, every time I come about a new topic, if there's a new topic throwing to me, or if I'm working and suddenly my client want this thing, I don't know what is that, I have to learn it. How I normally do is I give myself 30 minutes to just Googling around, just YouTube, anything, or just ask around people, right? What is this thing about? I just want to hear from people that have used this thing before. What is their opinion on that? Because that is where you can get the most direct feedback, right? For online, actually not really, right? Because all those are just very fancy words, all those marketing, right? They just wrap the entire content into something very beautiful. It seems like it's very descriptive, but it's actually not. So I think the best, for me, the best way for me to understand something very quickly is to ask someone that already knows how to do it. or has done it already, or has faced problems already with this thing. So I ask them 30 minutes. After that, I roughly understand already, okay, that it's time for me to feel it myself, all right? That's the most important thing, guys, all right? You have to feel it yourself, have to learn it, try it yourself. You can't just learn from others and you just start to use it. You have to listen to others first, take those opinions in, and make it in your own opinion and try to see whether it works for you. And then you try it, not working, you fix it, right? Use the one that you got from people. Like, for example, how to learn JavaScript. A lot of people say, solve algorithms. Okay, you try, all right? Solve. Hey, not working, all right? Maybe not algorithms, maybe solve some other challenges, right? Then you try, all right? Oh, it works for you. Good, all right? Then you can keep, continue to do that. So yeah, I think two things you guys have to take note here. One is you need a way to express your whatever you learn. Second, you need to build your own framework of learning. Everyone has a different way of learning. I couldn't tell you guys how to learn because it's not something, that's the fact, right? How I learn is not how you guys learn, right? That's the fact. So, and that's why if a lot of people out there, they will tell you, you should do that way, you should do this way, you should learn how to do it like that. You need to use this, use that. It's like that, okay? Don't listen to all this, right? Because it's just how they put their understanding onto you. And I don't think that should be the case. I think it should come from yourself, right? So you learn it, understand it yourself, then it's good, right? So eventually, after you learn something successfully, time to time, you will start to have your own framework. Like, oh, okay, I think next time when this thing comes, when new topic comes, this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to do searching first. I'm going to ask people first, and then I'm going to record. And yeah, actually, I practice. I have this very small habit that I have when I was learning is that every time I learn something, I will try to make this into a course. There's something like a course, mini course for myself. So what I'll do is I will like write some content, as if like I was teaching, I was selling this course, right? So I write some content, or this is how, this is how it works, draw some pictures and stuff. I just put in my Notion, right? Or any documents or Google Docs, anything, right? Just save it there for fun. Then next time you can come back, delete everything, write it again. And every time you do that, right, it enforces your understanding. And then sometimes also, I wrote it already, I share to my friends, all right? And then, yeah, actually, in fact, let me share you guys one of the things that I actually tried on my own. Not sure whether I still had it, but yeah, I could show you guys some examples of how you do it. Yeah, it's this one. I could share you guys a link. All right, so you guys can click into that link. That link is basically a documentation on how to learn Pinia. Pinia is basically a tool in Vue.js framework, all right? It's called a state management tool to how to store data, basically how to persist data across pages. And yeah, it looks legit, right? It looks legit, but it's actually, I wrote all this because I was learning. And if you guys click into it, you will see a lot of the sections where it says start building. Basically, sections that teach you how to build an app with this tool, all right? So I just come up with my own, right? I just write all this for fun at that time, just to record down what I have learned. And I just share it to my friends if they want to learn it. And they can, and that's the best part. They will give you feedbacks, right? They will tell, hey, Qiang, I think maybe this one you could do another way. Then I would think, oh yeah, maybe you're right. Then I can change it. I can relearn it myself. I have direct feedback from them, and you help them. Win-win, right? Both also win-win. Very good. Okay, so that's how I really learn. And you guys can find your own ways, right? It can be watching videos, it can be teaching, it can be writing, it can be recording, right? Just speaking to yourself. All right, like, hey guys, okay, this is HTML, just speaking to yourself is fine, right? Yeah, basically, this is it. Nice documentation, very cool stuff. Yeah, okay, you guys could come up with your own. I will teach you guys maybe in the future how to do all this very cool documentation on yourself. Very nice. Okay, so I think pretty much, sorry, pretty much that's about it on the learning side of things. Okay, before I move forward into like more technical thing, like what are the things you really need to learn, right? If you were very serious into web development. Before I go into that, any questions so far? Any question? Yeah, feel free to ask your questions in the chat. And I really hope you guys can ask questions, right? Because I think not a lot of times we have this chance to just share our opinions and help each other to answer questions. Yeah, I think since we have this very good opportunity, everyone gathering here, right? I think it's good that you guys could take this opportunity to just ask questions. It can be any random questions, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll give you guys like 1 to 2 minutes to write it down, write your questions, and yeah, let's see. Okay. Or you could unmute yourself if you guys feel like, typing is a bit too long. Yeah, you can unmute. Feel free to unmute. Wayne, got a question, Wayne? No. Others? If no question, can you guys just maybe press that raise hand button, so at least I know that you guys are good, then we can move on. Okay, Kong, Jiawei, Wayne, Krista, Steven, nice. Seems like everyone is okay. Yeah. All right, then let's move on. If you guys suddenly have any question, just feel free to join in the chat. Okay, so let's move into the technical part, and I think I'm going to share my screen. So I will just draw something out, and then you guys can actually just record it down, or you could write it somewhere. Okay, so let me just share my screen in a second. Okay, and yep. Oh yeah, and before I move forward, I just want to remind you guys, in the future, if you have more events, where you can find the information about events is come to app.sigmaschool.com/events, and basically you can see all the events here. All right, and of course, right now what we have is of course today's session, and next Thursday we also have another event, and of course the following weeks as well. So please do check it out. If you are going, please just press you are going. Okay, so we know roughly how many people will come. Yeah, and then you guys can check out the topic and everything, so you guys could prepare yourself, your questions you want to ask, because I think it's quite rare opportunity, and we are going to do this a lot. We are going to invite people that is high value. They really have something they are thinking about. They really know what they are doing. We will invite a lot of these kind of people to share a lot of their thoughts for you guys. All right, so you guys could take in a lot of the values. Okay, so do check out this page, and then just make sure to prepare some questions up before that, so at least you got something out from the session. Okay, all right, let's go into the technical stuff. Okay, what to learn. Okay, what to learn, right? So that's like the everyone's question, right? What's to learn? Qiang, should I learn this? Qiang, should I learn that? What's my next step? Okay, let's talk about that. All right, so first of all, so we are talking about web development, right? Of course, we are not talking about like AI, machine learning, data science. These are all other different fields. Of course, they are still in tech, but they are not in what we are really focusing on. We are focusing on web development, right? So let me just write it down. Okay, web development. All right, so this is what we are going to talk about, web development. All right, and no matter what you're looking into, web development always boils down to 3 things. What are the 3 things? Anyone know? Can just write in the chat. What are the 3 things? Just give you guys a very small test over here. What are the 3 main things in web development that you have to know? Exactly, Jiawei, right? Exactly, Kong. HTML, CSS, and JS, right? And JavaScript. Okay, let's write that down, right? So HTML, and then we have CSS, and we have JavaScript. All right. These are the main 3 things, and it doesn't matter what you learn, right? You can learn something like Par, EJS, Vue.js, React.js, Tailwind CSS. Doesn't matter what you learn. At the end of the day, it will be convert and compile. Okay, how does it compile? Don't have to worry. We have a lot of tools that convert for all this code. It will do all this converting and stuff, and it will become HTML, CSS, and JavaScript again, right? So no matter where you go, it's still these 3 things, right? And you can build anything you want with just these 3 things. So you don't really have to run frameworks actually. But what are frameworks for? Frameworks are to help you increase your productivity and makes your life easier. All right. So that's why we are using framework, but you don't have to. All right. This is my point. Okay. So these 3 is a must. Okay. And one more thing that actually I got an idea from Henry just now. Henry was saying, Henry was telling me that learning JavaScript is hard. And I was having some thoughts on my own that time. Why learning JavaScript is hard? Or why learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is hard? Why these three things are the hardest? This is because all the other stuff you'll be learning after that, all right, Vue.js, GraphQL, REST API, authentication, anything, right? Anything. It's all built on top of this tree. This is why, right? It's as if like you are learning maths, right? Just a quick question. Anyone here, I believe everyone would agree with me. If I ask you to learn maths, secondary maths again, will you guys think it would be a lot easier than, when you are Form 5 or Form 4? It will be a lot easier, right? Because right now, you've got more knowledge already. You've got like more advanced knowledge, because I believe a lot of you guys here went to college, or if you are not in college, I believe you got, in contact with some other related math content before. So probably all your thinking and everything should be, one level up already. So if I ask you to learn back secondary maths, which is very hard for most of the people right now, but if I ask you to learn back, you can learn it very fast and easier, right? This is because you learn a lot of the stuff later on that build on top of all these basics, all right? So this is a fact, right? In fact, whatever you learn after that, okay, let me just write a few one. Vue.js, this is one thing you'll be learning after that. And in Vue.js, you have a lot of tools you need to learn, right? Such as Vue Router, Pinia, all right? I'll just list down two main one, all right? And then you have things like Tailwind CSS. What is all those? I will talk about this later, but I'll just put it here, all right? So all these, all right, like Vue.js. Vue.js built on top of JavaScript. Tailwind CSS built on top of CSS, right? If you see the name, you also know already, right? Vue.js, Tailwind CSS, okay? So that's the thing, right? Everything builds on top of this tree. This tree is like your leg, right? You don't have your leg, you can't move, right? You need this tree thing. It's like a tire, it's like a car tire, right? You need this tire, right? To keep you rolling, all right? To keep you learning all the stuff. Vue.js, React.js, React Native, Tailwind CSS, Bauma, Bootstrap, whatever you can name, right? Whatever you name. So no matter what you guys are looking into, if you have questions like, Qiang, should I learn React or Vue first? Have you learned JS first? Learn JS first, okay? Learn your JavaScript first. Only you think about learning React and Vue. Okay, that's another question already. Okay, so always question yourself: have you learned all this base thing over here? All right, all the base thing over here. Okay, so I make this very clear. All right, so so you guys have a clearer idea. Okay, next, what to learn in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. There's a lot of things to learn, and this is what we are basically covering in Coding Fundamentals and CSDP. We covered a lot of things, a lot of contents, a lot of recordings for you guys already prepared. And a lot of challenges, a lot of practices, assignments, capstone project. You guys could just follow along, and you could pretty much, I will not say master, but you have a grasp out of what are all these and how to use all these tools. Okay, and one more thing I would like to bring up before we move forward to all these things, right, is after you learn all this, right, what you should do. Okay, yeah, actually, just a quick question for you guys as well. After you learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, what do you guys do actually after you learn all these three? What do you guys do? Yeah, maybe for those that already finished learning JavaScript, or in fact, if you haven't finished, but what are your thoughts? What do you guys think after learning these three? What is the next step? Practice. Okay, you're gonna say practice. How? Build easy app like portfolio. Okay. Anything else? Any other thoughts? Maybe something like learn Vue.js next. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think all your answers is correct, right? Practice, build something, right? And that is basically what I'm trying to emphasize, right? After you learn all this, don't rush yourself to learn all these things, right? Just try to build things. Just try to build things. Okay. Doesn't matter what app, all right? It all boils down to practicality, right? Practical, all right? Be practical, okay? I want you guys to be practical, not theoretical, okay? Be practical. Whatever you're trying to learn, try to transform it into something you can use, not something you can put in your mind, right? I want it to be something you can use, all right? You could learn a lot of things. CSS cascading, specificity, all this knowledge, you can learn it, but will you be using it? Do you know how to use it? Do you know how to compare it? Do you know what's the difference? Do you know what's the benefit? Do you know when to use that, when to not use that? Do you know all this, all right? So that is what I meant by being practical, okay? You need to be able to transform the skill into real work, real stuff, all right? And that's what people are looking for. Okay, they are not looking whether you have degree, you have a lot of all these certificates on HTML course, JavaScript course, master JavaScript, whatever is the name, right? But do you know how to build stuff with all this? That's the best thing, all right? And I could tell you guys honestly, and I could be very transparent with you guys. Recently, I got a lot of opportunities coming in because I was very actively in GitHub recently, right? If any one of you follow me on GitHub, you can see I post a lot of my projects. I put a lot of my projects out. Actually, in fact, let me show you guys actually. Let me go to my GitHub. Yeah, github.com. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is my repository. Yeah, I was basically just, you know, put a lot of things out. Yeah, and you can see I make my profile very nice and stuff. And I put, you know, yeah, a lot of my projects here. Yeah, basically I just do that, you know, like 20 days ago, 28 days ago. You can see that I'm very active, right? After a few days, I got a new project out. After a few days, I got something up. Okay, like 5 days, then like 3 days, right? Every 5 to 3 days, I have something up, and I've already like 80 plus projects over here. And you can see the activity, not really that high, but at least someone is looking into it, right? And someone is trying to use it. And one of the projects that is quite famous in my all of my project is this WhatsApp automation that I mentioned to you guys, actually, the WhatsApp Center. And as you can see, right, the activity is quite high. And one very funny thing about this project I built, right, because this is a messages sending kind of software, so I could actually receive messages when people are using this. So every time when they try to use it, they will actually accidentally send message to my WhatsApp number. So I actually know every day I got messages like, because let me show you guys the assets here, right? In the message, I actually put something like, you know, hello, I'm testing this WhatsApp Center by my name. So every time I got that message in my WhatsApp, and I know people are using that. And that's the best part, right? People are looking into a repository, using a project, you know, and you could even find clients from there, right? If they are interested to use it, they don't know how to do it, they want more features, you could just build all these features for them, okay? And you can charge like maybe a few thousand or something like that, right? And you know, all I'm trying to tell you guys is build stuff, show your stuff, all right? Build and show, all right? So you build a lot of the project. You don't just keep in your computer, right? Find a way to express, like what I told you guys, learn and express. It's always the same thing, right? It's always the same thing. You learn the thing, you express, you build a project, you need to show it, because people will give you feedback. People will use it and will honestly tell you whether it's useful or not. A lot of the things you put inside, those fancy animation, is it really good user experience or not, right? They will tell you, okay? So one way is GitHub. Another, if you guys are keen to do YouTube videos, you can record a YouTube video, just post it out, do a tutorial, how to build a portfolio website, how to build Airbnb clone, right? You guys can do that, okay? I'm actually planning to do that already, actually, maybe one day. And then you probably like Instagram, Twitter, or you could join some Discord channels that actually, you know, all these tech communities that they share projects. Like one of them is TAC, of course, right? We also have a lot of channels that help people to look into their projects. So, all right, before I move on, I saw a question. Kong mentioned how you usually get your idea for a project. Okay. Well, when you are building projects, I think the best ideas, all right, is if that project is really helping you or not. Okay, so if you can look into all my projects, right? In fact, let me show you guys all the recent project that I came up and how I got those ideas. Of course, yeah, all this clone, right, is for teaching purposes. This is why it is here. You guys will be building an Airbnb clone in your course in coding basics. Okay, you can check that out later. I actually already uploaded it. Okay, yeah. So all this, learn JavaScript bot, my profile, API code generator, you know, like all these to-do app, WhatsApp Center. If you guys notice, right, all these are some sort of like a feature, right? API code generator. This is like basically a tool that generates code. Basically, you don't need to write code. Basically, just provide some information, what API you are fetching. They will just generate everything for you. And like what Kong asked, right? How do I get my idea? All my ideas come from how can I make my life easier? That's it, right? So I would just think, if I could have this tool, you know, how good my life will be, right? So I'm always thinking about that, right? What are the things I'm left actually? What are the things I need now? that could solve a lot of my problems. So like, for example, sending WhatsApp messages. Back then, when I have a lot of students, like 200 students, for example, I need to send, enter message one by one with my hand, and it's very tiring. So I was thinking, if I could have an app, right, that could just send message automatically, how good is that? That's why I came out with that, right? And then next, I was thinking, we keep on need to write code that fetching API, and all the code looks similar. Can I automate all those process? Then that's how I come up with this project. Then after that, slowly, like if I could have a bot that can help me check all your source code, right? For example, I actually plan to build this app, right? A very simple GitHub bot that could check all of your homeworks, right? I was thinking of that, right? Because I don't want to be checking one of your, every one of your source code. It will be like very tiring. Okay, Wayne's one, and then John, and then Crystal, or one by one. Everyone write differently, and sometimes I don't understand what you guys write. Sometimes that happen, right? So I was thinking, could I create something that could just check everything for me automatically? I didn't do anything. That's how I came up with this as well. I learned JavaScript bot. Basically, it's a bot that can guide you guys how to learn JavaScript. It's not complete yet, but just an idea. So yeah, it all comes down to whether it can help you in your real life or not. Could it help other people? Yeah, that's the best thing. All right, so hope that answers your question, Kong. Yeah, so I saw Jiawei say, all these projects can be built here. Oh yeah, Henry mentioned fully automated. Yes, I like automation, right? I'm an automation guy. I like to automate all my stuff. Yeah, I could just automate my life. That would be fun, right? Sending messages, work, writing code, all these. If I could just automate, that would be good, right? That would be good. That's why that's why a lot of the projects here you can see is a lot of automations. Yeah, a lot of automations. Yeah, but also a lot of these learning materials here that you guys can check this out. Yeah. All right. That our future all about. Yeah, exactly, right. Wait, so Jiawei asks, are all these projects can be built? Most of the projects that you find in my report is not HTML, CSS, and JavaScript thing. It is actually just JavaScript sometimes. Depends on because these are not really websites. Okay, if you're talking about website, yes, you can build any website with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Yeah, that is true, right? That is true. Okay, hope that answers your question. So yeah, GitHub can display what language you're using, right? Yes, correct. Yeah, you can see, and you can actually see the language down here. A lot of the projects that are built is in JavaScript. Some if you can see, is in Vue, means it's a website, it's a framework. Okay, Vue, Python, all right, all JavaScript, Vue. Okay, this is another website. Yeah, a lot using Vue because I use Vue mainly. I use a lot of Vue. All right. So basically that's it, right? So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. All right, build projects, be practical, just show your projects. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Okay, if it's bad, it's okay, right? You have to take in the feedbacks, the bad feedbacks. All right, then you can improve on yourself. All right, if you're keeping it to yourself, doesn't really help you. And in fact, it hurts you a lot because you don't know whether you are doing correctly, and you don't know whether what you are doing is good or not. Is it up to the standard or not? Right, so sometimes you guys question a lot about yourself. I can understand, like a lot of you actually, I believe a lot of you are thinking to yourself, whatever I learn now, is it enough if I go apply a job now? Anyone got this question to yourself before? Can you press that raise hand button? Right, Yogan, yeah, I believe basically all of you here, you will say, whatever I'm learning now, is it enough? Could I apply? Could I go to interview now? Is it enough? I believe you guys ask that a lot to yourself. This is because you don't have enough validation on yourself about all the projects you have built. You have to show it out, tell other people, put it open source. Let all the people that are looking, that are looking for talent, let them give you honest feedback, right? If they just approach you, hey, Qiang, I think whatever you're building is good, and our company is looking for something like that, then yeah, you got yourself a job, you got yourself an offer, right? So this is what I really recommend you guys to start doing. All right, start doing. Okay, so actually we could get back to this. Yeah, so basically we are talking about practical, and then after that, what was after that, right? HTML, CSS, JavaScript. A lot of people ask, Qiang, should I learn React, right? Because I know a lot of you heard that I learned React before that. So does React help me in learning Vue.js? Yes, it does. But honestly speaking, if you were to choose one of it, depending on what you are going to do, right? If you are going to build a very, very complex application, actually, to be honest with you, I prefer Vue.js a lot, because Vue.js is a framework. React is not a framework, all right? Just in case you don't know this is called React. React.js, right? It's not a framework, it's a library. And what's the difference between library and framework? Framework is quite complete. Library is just like a small thing there, something you can use and not use, right? Framework is if you use Vue.js already, you have to follow their rules. A lot of things like routing, state management, you have to follow their rules. If you want to use router, you must use Vue router. If you want to use state management, you must use Pinia or Vuex. But React, right? You have so many other things, right? If you want to use routing, you got like 3-4 options. You can use anything you want because it's a library. It doesn't require a lot of like, rules. It doesn't have rules, right? Like Jquery, not really like Jquery. Jquery is another story. Yeah, Jquery is kind of outdated already. Yeah, it's more closer to vanilla, which means pure JavaScript, right? It's more low level a bit. Not really a framework actually. Yeah. So if you guys ask me to choose one, right, Vue or React, depending on your use case, if you were to go get remote job like in US or get freelance project, React.js, because a lot of people find React developer nowadays. Okay, I honestly can tell you guys that, right, can learn React. But if you want like stable, right, you want to deep dive into one technology, really good at it, can build anything you want, get into a corporate company, get into a startup, and work there for 1 year, something like that. Okay, not that, just you guys can understand what I'm saying, right? So Vue.js is a good option, okay, because you could learn it, you could use it for years, and you could just build anything you want, right? You don't have to worry about, if I want to use router, which one should I use? You don't have to worry that. Vue tells you everything. The roadmap, very clear for you already. Documentation, everything very clear. What you should learn, what you should learn, what you should learn. All right? You just need to learn. The hardest part in learning Vue is you need to learn. That's the hardest part. In React is which one to use, right? It's not what to learn. It's which one to use first. Then only you start learning. Okay, that's like the hardest part in React.js. But of course, I couldn't say that you guys should 100% listen to my advice. This is just my my experience in learning both of these two, and yeah, that's my honest opinion. Okay, so that's it about JavaScript framework. How about CSS framework, right? Like Tailwind, Bootstrap. Honestly, I would not even consider Bootstrap. Right? So sorry for anyone of you here that is I'm a Bootstrap fan. No, I'm Tailwind CSS fan, right? Why? Why? Because a lot of reasons. Probably we could go into that details maybe in the future. But yeah, I'm Tailwind CSS die-hard fan. All right, I will use Tailwind CSS for my life. Okay, my first framework is Bootstrap. In fact, my first framework is Bootstrap as well, right? And I don't like it because Bootstrap feels like it's like tying your hand and leg. Got a lot of limitations. That's what I feel. Every time I have to follow them, right? Every time I have to do this, I need to add this. Then I was asking like, why? Why should we do that? But Tailwind, it gives you all the flexibility. You can use whatever you want. You can configure yourself. Yeah, that's how I really feel like. And hopefully a lot of you here can understand as well, right? Maybe any one of you here used Tailwind before. All right, so honestly, if you want to go into like a front-end developer role, learn Tailwind also, right? Tailwind is very good. And a lot of companies look for people that know Tailwind CSS. And yeah, and you could do anything, right? And in fact, I have a plan for you guys here. In the future, we are going to have a lot of sessions that just pure coding. We are going to do a lot of clones. Very, very nice one, like Airbnb, Facebook, Instagram, all Tailwind CSS on, right? All Tailwind CSS. I'm going to show you guys how to do that with just Tailwind CSS. It's very nice. Yeah, and I could show you guys some of the work later on also. Okay, and after that, actually, pretty much that's it, right? And of course, some other small little tools you have to understand, like Terminal, all right? Terminal, Git and GitHub. Other than that, that's it, right? That's basically what you guys have to know for now, okay? For now, that's like your first step. Then after that, we could talk more about it, right? The more advanced part, like maybe like like PWA or like testing framework, right? How to do testing in your app, how to make sure your code works perfectly fine. Like end-to-end testing, unit testing, storybook, right? All these tools. Okay, we could look into that in the future. But the main one that you have to learn. And once you learn this, I could guarantee you guys, if you learn this right, you could get a job already. Because why? I got my internship when I just, medium in JavaScript only, right? So but the thing is, I can understand these three, and I know a little bit of React, and I was learning Vue at that time, even before interview. I think I forgot to tell you guys, right? So basically, Derek reached out to me for interview. He asked me to, Yixiang, you know Vue.js? Say, don't know. Can you learn? Yes, okay. 1 week later, interview. Okay, 1 week, learn. After that interview, Ming interviewed me, asked me a bunch of questions. Luckily, I'm able to answer. And yeah, okay. So basically, you can, once you got JavaScript knowledge, right, you could learn anything, right? That's like the most fundamental thing. After that, you want to learn Vue, React. No, not a big problem already. All right. So okay, so this one, you guys can take a screenshot if you want to. You can write it down, and I'll give you guys like I know it's it's already end of the time already, but I want to ask you guys if you guys have any final questions about what to learn, or any other questions that you guys just think about just now. All right. If no, then yeah, we could end the session. But yeah, I'll give you guys 2 minutes to think about any questions you guys would like to ask. Okay. Anyone? seems like no questions. Okay, if you're good, raise your hand. Yeah, if you're good, raise your hand. Nice. All right, cool. All right, it seems like you are able to understand on like most of the thing, and I believe you guys have clearer mindset and clearer idea of what is the next step already. How do you come about learning stuff in the future, what to learn and all this. So hopefully these sessions really help you guys a lot, and I really appreciate everyone taking your time to join this session, because I understand that taking 1 hour plus to join the session is a lot actually, and I understand almost everyone here, you're struggling with your life because of COVID. You are struggling because you are learning code and you don't have direction. You are struggling. I understand, and I understand a lot of you here are lost in your life, as in like you don't know what to do next. It can be job, it can be relationships, it can be anything, right? You are lost in your life, don't know what to do, and it really takes a lot of effort and determination to really, if you join this session today, it really proves one thing. It proves that you are ready to make changes and you're ready to take 1 step forward. Okay, so don't worry about all these future things. Just focus on the next step. All right, what you should do next. Okay, if you are telling yourself, oh, I'm not doing JavaScript, then tomorrow start on JavaScript. Okay, so yeah, I hope everyone enjoys today's session. Hope you guys learned a lot. Hopefully we can have more sessions like this. And hopefully I will be sharing a lot of my experience with you guys, technically, or like any other general one as well. So yeah, okay, before I end, right, let me just read all of the comments. Looking forward for another breakdown in a good way. Nice. Okay, it is really insightful. Thanks, Wei. We got your back, Henry. Wonderful 1.5 hours. Yeah, don't stress me. Very nice. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy. All right, and I will get the recording, and then we'll find a way to put into the platform so you guys can rewatch if you have anything you need to rewatch. All right, and if there's no more question, we will call it a night, and I'll probably see you guys in our technical session where we learn how to code. All right, so see you guys in the next session. Bye guys.
Okay, thanks, Qiang.
All right,
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.